Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Okay, so, oh dear. It's a little messed up. Where's my view at? It's gone. That's interesting. Let's fix them. That's kind of weird. Looks like I found a bug in my output. Let's try this one more time, F5, and see if it gives an error. Yep. So there's like a bar in there that's broken. It's broken both the ADX and the VWAP bands. Well, whatever. It's okay. We don't necessarily need it. So then maybe it's probably better to show you guys with this. All right. So what happened yesterday? Yesterday we had a big move up, and we took a short here. It found some balance here, but then the news found out the Fed is much more dovish than previously thought from the meeting notes, and we got a pretty good move up, and it has continued in the overnight. We've come back, so I really like this 120 area. It's kind of some accumulation distribution area. I think we could have some continuation up today. So let's start there. E-mini kind of like took a pretty bad dive in the morning session, and then in the afternoon recovered. So I'm not quite sure how to play that particular one, but yeah, we could get some continuation. So if it comes back to the VWAP, I think that might be an okay place to get long. I'm feeling a little slow today for some reason. So there's that. So I think you need to be a little careful here at the beginning. I think yesterday, you know, had squats, and man, it was like sets of 8, and it's like my legs just stole all of the blood, and I'm not getting enough blood to my brain or something. That's what it feels like. Yeah. He smells blood on the streets. And how is our Bitcoiners doing? Oh boy. It doesn't end. Bitcoin manipulation is said to be the focus of U.S. criminal probe. Manipulate now while you can. I think people are selling. Okay. Then also we get to check the news. Okay, so we've got the unemployment claims as usual, but it's been a pretty light news week. Yeah. Too many longs. Somebody saying yes, I'm sure there's further to puke. If we break the previous lows of the year, then it will free fall. Wow, yeah. It's a little scary, isn't it, that we are already this close to lows of the year in Bitcoin, isn't it? And they really have not stopped, you know? Gotta wonder. Well, I have just a few bites of food. I think I'm gonna try and get those in before we have unemployment claims. Okay, yeah. Silent thinks Bitcoin should bounce up before breaking 7K. Go towards 8K before more down. The thing that I find interesting about this down move in Bitcoin is how little they pull back, you know? They do stop at the support points. So I think that 7,200 there was a support, and they're gonna come back. They might come back to 7,500. They might come back to even like 7,700. But this whole run, it's been like they barely give them like a day. Like the best that they got was like a weekend of breathing room, and then it was back to selling. Yes, and definitely a lack of buyers. Yeah, that's another critical thing. Is it's so clearly in a downtrend now that nobody wants to buy it, which makes the downtrends worse because the sellers can't get filled. The sellers can't get out. I think Friday and Saturday should be updates. It was last week, right? When it was up. Okay, so there's some absorption there at 14. I'm like, how do I use ADX bands? Well, right now I just kind of have it on the chart and I've been watching it. It does seem to do a really good job of confirming that we've got an actual trend going. But It's not predictive or anything like that. To me, it's just kind of like a warning. Okay, so now that they're fighting here 14, 2 or 3 times. I don't know. I'm a little concerned about trying to get long here. Even though it is kind of showing the degree of support that I want, but they just don't want to go along with it, do they? Well, where could this go to? I think that this could go to... Ugh, I don't know. $160 is a target. 16.5 is kind of a spot too. So you would be okay for a 4-ticker here. But the other side, I think you want to go back to 13, maybe 120, maybe the low at 190. Seems like a little bit of a congested area, doesn't it? So another thing is that my spreads are not working. So is that why? Oh, that's a good point. Probably a lot of people are going to be closing positions. Need to keep that in mind because when people are closing up positions, it seems to cut moves short. I was hoping that we were going to be in a new market regime, you know, and could start seeing more of the trades that I like, but probably not until the end of the contract at least. Usually we do better at the beginning of a contract though, so there's that. Yeah, so you see they weren't able to hold the 14 and they ticked back down. So I think I made the right choice there. I'm just holding off. I don't think I want to go short either. Now, and we got like 2 minutes. Oh, let's take a bite or two before the news season. Okay, so claims was more than expected. 234 versus 220. I don't see any immediate reaction. And that's what I would say is pretty within the noise. A difference of 14K. So it's probably not going to affect them too much. There's still some missing spots in the DOM, so see there's nothing there at 11. 11 half. Kind of weird. Okay. Maybe a little bit of support at the 13, but just try. Oops. Wrong button. Just closed my e-mini chart. Save workspace. Nope. We're just gonna try a quick refresh of Ninja here because it's just driving me crazy. I can't see the spreads. DB. Just delete the cache essentially. Hmm. Okay, so while I was doing that, we came up a good 3 ticks there. That's interesting. Ah, but I can see a spread now. At least I can see the FYT spread came down hard there. Nope. I'm not so convinced by that one. If you want to take it as she goes to the top, I think that you're gonna have to put more than 500 when you tick up, you know? Well, there you go. That's a little more like it. So I'm getting a lot of level 2 changes. Look at that. They're putting on pressure. So, they're really looking like they want to take a move, but it's not coming through. Not even actually seeing very many orders go through here in ZN yet. You know, if they initiate it at 13, then 15 is a place for it to stop. Or maybe not like come back, but just range for a little bit at least. Okay. There was an iceberg sitting there for us. Well, that's about what I wanted to see. Okay, I'm liking that. A pretty big order there at 13.5 in ZF. Kind of need to see that offer in ZF pull. Okay, so it's a little better. I'm liking how thick it is at 14.5 now. So I find it interesting that ZB is definitely leading today. I can't really show it to you on the spreads today, which upsets me. I can see it on my daily chart, and I can see it on my volume profile chart. Here, I'll show you this one. Okay. A couple of pushes, but not quite going. Should reset this. Really want it right there. And I want ZF to tick up too. And I'll reset it. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we need them all right here. It's a little unusual to see fighting like that right at the midpoint of a zipper range. Like if I was a seller and I wanted to fight somebody, I'd save my ammunition for 15. Okay, well that ZF is starting to get a little thick. Jeez, so we've seen a lot of volume. Go back and forth here now, 14.5. And the market orders has been mostly buying. Given this context, though, that probably is not necessarily a terribly relevant thing. Because this could be an area where the limit orders went out. They're not really putting up a whole lot on the offer. They're like only 300. Yeah. So if you get a tick up, okay, so there's a tick up in ZN and ZF. If you can get a tick up in ZB, then we can see if this 13.5 pulls and if it's actually going to go or not. Okay, so there it is. This got thick. ZB is getting a decent. Okay, so there it pulled. So I think that we can go. Oof. ZB tick down is what happened. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna give it one more uptick. All right. ZN sure believes. Only 343 to take, oh, to take 13.5, never mind. I was confused, I think, at where we were at. Notice how quickly that offer in ZN pulls. Nope. So they're pretty insistent now in ZF. Let's see. Oh. Okay. I think I should have put that one in a long time ago. I think I felt a little frozen there. Just kind of watching it. Okay. Well, there you go. I took +1, but there it was right there. Stop run. So I was long at what? 150? Yeah. No. I was 145. So 16.5 is where I would have been taking it off. So I'm concerned that even though they broke the key area and now you're seeing it at 14. Yeah, if it's a slower play like that, seems sometimes you just have to let it go full stop or rip on up. Can't take plus or minus one. Yeah, well, I don't know. Um it's very situational, right? Because um if we look over the past month, 2 months, taking that plus one was probably the right call. But something has changed yesterday, right? Something changed, and I think if I'm right that we're starting to see sellers fight back and lose, then that means that those trades that I like to take as she goes um, are going to do better. But I don't want to mess with it where it is right now. So I'm just gonna let it go. But you know, I took plus one, so it's okay. I guess another thing though that should have been a warning to me is that I think that if this had been like 2 weeks ago, and I took the plus one, um, I probably wouldn't have gotten filled, would I? He likes it long here, huh? No, I don't necessarily read that the same way, Tucker. Why, he said, why would you want to sell when somebody just bought 10K contracts and nobody is aggressively selling it down? That's not how I read a location like that. The way I read a location like that is a bunch of people, like all of the market makers, just bought 10K, and some other guy that's really, really big just sold 13K. I don't want to mess with an iceberg that big. Especially since they haven't come even close to clearing it. Hmm. Something I find interesting about this particular iceberg too is that it's been 2,000 to offer the whole time. It's not like a lure where they're only offering up 500 to 1,500 to get filled. You know? No, Tucker's on. You might be right. I'm just saying this particular one for me is one that I've stayed out of. Now, if they break it, then I might try after she goes. Yeah, they're not bailing yet. You're right. Nobody has hit 15.5 yet. This is now a 16K iceberg. That's huge. Okay, so now they've gotten the offer to go below 2,000. Ugh, only for a moment. Only for a moment. Their ZF just ticked down, and it held. In fact, and another thing that I pay attention to on these icebergs is how long it takes them. So if they had filled 15K and they had done so pretty aggressively and quickly, then I would be like, well, heck yeah, let's get this on because buyers are ready to go, and this is just somebody hedging or something. But to see it just go so slow, and now almost 20K. I mean, if it goes through, it's going to be a great trade for sure. But that's just too big for me to want to mess with. If they lift it, they're probably going to 20. Yeah. Well, it's a 73.56 at 20, right? I'm not so sure that that's... Okay, so there they go. They took it. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Well, that is not necessarily what I would like to see here. I mean, I like the pressure. I would prefer to see more than 41 contracts. We could see the block buy come in here. This would be a good place for him to pull it. Nope. Okay, so that was pretty bad, I would say. You're trying to mess with my head now. Oh, Revo, you changed your name because you should be blue. Okay. Well, ZB is like up. How long has this been here? Is there something wrong with my ZB chart? I think there is. Ninja Trader is just all sorts of fucked up today, guys. I'm gonna wait for one of my trades. Don't try and talk me into a trade. That's not gonna work. Okay. Okay, so I like that one a lot better. Mm-hmm. I mean, now that we're clearly through the iceberg and I'm seeing stops at 17, I feel a lot more confident in this. Be careful, these kind of have a tendency to try and like go back into the range. Okay. Okay, there we're able to beat out the 16.5. That's interesting. Hmm. Was that a lure there? That flipped around awfully quick, didn't it? But now 5K. immediately at 16.5. Okay. I mean, I like the buying better there, but it's fighting. Let's not say volume, let's say the velocity. Awfully thick again. Okay, pretty positive uptick there, but I'm not seeing it go in ZF yet. And ZF really's got to get going here. Okay, so they ticked up, not a super strong bid yet. A800's a little better. Right now is probably when it goes. Okay, that uptick concerns me. Alright, that's a little better. That's a little better. I think they might tick back down again. Some of the volume may be rollover related. I think that's a really good point. Or a really good theory, rather. Okay, more buying into 17. That's good. Well, it's now 7:20 and we have to start thinking about the E-mini. I mean, us moving up is actually kind of good for the E-mini in some respects. Although I think that the correlation has been kind of opposite. I'm kind of thinking if I don't get another good strong tick up that I might just bail. Because I don't want to really mess with the... Well, I mean, it's been a slow bubble up. So we can't say that there hasn't been a move, so maybe that means it's more okay to stay in a trade as the E-mini opens. Definitely when you don't have any kind of initiation or initial move and the E-mini opens, the E-mini starts to dominate the action and you get swung around, and that's what I want to avoid. Okay. Some absorption there at 16.5, 26.33. So there was the uptick, and nothing went into 17, and it wasn't a strong bid either. It's not helping that my DOM isn't really lined up very well. That last tick up was not too encouraging either. Okay, so we saw a hit in ZF. Let's just give it a little bit of... No. And then put 1500 on it again when they tick down. Okay. That's more like it. ZF wasn't able to hold a good bit. 900. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, wow. Okay, much better uptick that time. And then really strong volume, really strong bid in ZF. So I think I should give it a little bit more space. Be a little bit more patient here. Okay, so that downtick not so great. Iceberg there. You know, that many market orders coming through that quick is bad. Seeing an iceberg there is good though, but okay. Yeah. You mean when they ticked up to 16.5 and they had a pretty strong bid at like 3K? They ticked up and had like 3K on it. Yeah. So I've been, I mean, I don't really know why it happens, and I've noticed that as well. And like finishing a move before they take it back down. I've been looking at it as more like somebody really wants to put the pressure on, and they're not able to get anybody to go with it, and so they give up. Like a, yeah, like a demand test. So when you get those as she goes trades, that's often how they happen. Is I'll see strong ticks up. When it ticks up, a lot of people are on the bid, and when I see, you know, a strong bid come up and nobody wants to take it, that's kind of like, well, okay, maybe we're not going to get it. Maybe it's time for me to give up, sort of a thing. A little bit of games here. Well, okay. So that's a little better. So the 147. Whoa, wait. Wasn't there like 2K there at 147, and now all of a sudden 5 contracts go through and it was only only 500 offer? Interesting. Now they want to trade 14.7 back and forth quite a bit. Okay, curious. Whoa. Okay. I think a bubble up move, in my opinion, is like from a strategic point of view, is in how you should trade it. It's probably the easiest to trade. You just pick a level and just stay in it. But psychologically, it is definitely the most difficult and taxing. I don't blame you, Tucker. Well, that was a much better step up. I think here's what I think is going to happen. I think that the FYT spread is going to come back to this 101.58 spot. I think that ZF, something funky is going on in here, and he wants to take it back up here. And when it gets up there, that's when I want to take it off. And in order for that to happen, you might get a real run in ZF, and that might pull the other two up. So you notice ZN wants to go. Look at the volume in ZN. It's all buying. Look at the volume in ZB. It's all buying and just making new highs, making new highs, making new highs. And then what is ZF doing? Like nothing. Like they're stressing over ticks. Yeah. When ZN just goes tick for tick with no pullback, there's volume pressure. That's when it's most reliable, but it's hard psychologically to trade. Yes. It's like a freight train rolling slowly downhill. Okay, so you see that 19 was flickering a lot when they ticked up. Like guys with their hands being like, up here, we want it. If I was not doing this always take the +4 experiment, I would be pulling my order right now and moving it up to 200. So I feel like, you know, when you get a trend that they usually come up and fill the target. Yeah. No, I don't want to trade the context though. No, you're right. Like I think if we were doing like real trading, I probably should just pull the order. But I want to see what difference it makes in my stats. So I have to stick with it. So if we're sticking with the strategy, and I really do think that it's going to go to 200, then when we get filled here at 18.5, we should be looking to see if we can get long 18 again. I kind of want to see how it does this though. Was 18 the high? The overnight high? Oh no. 18 it was a new high for sure. Okay. 15.5 was the overnight high. Did 18.5 never went offer? So I'm gonna say that's not unfinished. They never traded anything here, right? You know, it's unusual for the top to be like a ton of volume, especially after a bubble up move. But who knows? Okay, so that was an okay uptick. reset this up here. Okay. I'm all sitting here talking about how I think it can go to 200, but in the back of my mind, I'm also saying to myself, am I going to have to bail at 17 if they tick down? Look at the one range chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now they finally ticked down. This is going to be, if they traded at 16.5, that's going to be the first actual, like, real downtick. Okay. They didn't trade it. But they could still downtick and do it. It'd be interesting. The funny thing about this one is it's even though it's been slow and frustrating, it's been very engaging the whole time, hasn't it? Okay, well, that bid at 17 is looking awfully weak. On this at the 28. Let's see, in ZB it kind of did slow move up a 2. I don't know what's wrong with Ninja Trader today. Yes, exactly. Okay, it took the +1. Didn't like that they touched 16.5, so I just took +1. Could have gotten +2 at least. Maybe actually even +3. If I had gotten in, yeah, if we take it down and nobody is selling, there's still significant buying pressure. We could just get like a tiny pullback and then they really throttle it down, huh? So I'm curious as to why the 17 is so weak. Well, there you go. Look at that. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh my. I could get filled at 19. Nope. It was thinking about 19 to 20. Something happened there? Oh. Donald, okay. There's some news. I'm just gonna link you the tweet. A little concerned about taking along here now. It's unfortunate. I did touch the 20, didn't it? Man. 2 ticks, yay. I'm honestly super tempted to just take it short here, but that would be a really bad idea. I mean, may yet come all the way back. Oh, look, there you go. Like as I'm saying it, it's doing it. But to be buying, or I mean, to be selling above the VWAP after such a strong move up is something that is very likely for the to at the very least have them try and stop you out. You know, like it could maybe still go higher, but they're gonna mess with people first.
Block buy. Block buy.
Shit. I'm just gonna sit on my hands. Not that there's not a good trade here, but I don't think that I could play this correctly. So,
block buy.
3 block buys, 3 prices in a row. Are you kidding me? I feel like they gotta sell this thing and test that guy just to be sure. So I've never seen 3 block buys in a row. And I'm sitting on my hands because to me this does not justify like the most aggressive buying I've ever seen over something that we kind of already knew. Doesn't make sense to me. And I don't want to get caught up in the hype. Like that's the sort of thing that can come back really quickly. Is this a trend day? I don't know about that. It is big volume. I think that if they could break this, if they make a new, well, I think that they'll probably make a new high, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. because we've touched this 23 times now. Okay, so there's a level break setup right there. Probably too late for us to get filled. Sure. I'm not going to give this a lot of leeway. Like, this next tick up, it's got to go. Right? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking, Jack, is that because so I saw a signal, so I took it. But this is all has a very high probability of just coming back. Yeah. No thanks. So, anyways, as I was saying before all that, if they do take the level break and bust 20 and stops, then I think it could turn into a trend date. But right now, this does not look to me like the kind of action that I tend to look for on a trend day. But you know, it could be because this is all just extremely unique action in general, right? I mean, we've never seen somebody buy three prices in a row. Now, mind you, we're still stuck at the middle of the three prices that he bought, so well, there's 10K there. E-mini definitely got spooked by that news. When it happened, the E-mini dropped a good 10 points. Okay, so there was this setup again potentially, and they didn't observe any. I think there's a possibility that they could go through 20, and we may just miss it here, or we may be able to take it as she goes if they start hitting it. Guess I should have my hand on the trigger just in case. Currency trader thinks that's up. Okay. Look at that. Everybody else was sitting there just like me going, okay, they're going to do it. I'm going to take it as she goes. And they got stopped. Wow. Bada boom. Look at that. Good job, Tucker. Oh, for +1 again. Oh, man. Well, I'm a little concerned that we've only seen 352. Yeah. The thing is when I see, if larger than 10K orders get busted through more than once, those do tend to be trend days. And that was the second one that they've poked. Ugh. So volatile, the level 2 right now. You kind of have to almost just ignore it. Okay. Okay, uptick. Yeah, good pressure. Some pulling, and then they pushed and they pulled. That was interesting. So I think that was because of what was happening there in the 5-year, but okay, so there's after she goes. Yeah. Well, isn't it's funny to see the level 2 be changing so much and only see like 600 orders go through, right? Okay, 2734, hit it. I don't see where Jack is talking about. Are you on a different, are you on the new contract? Is that why? I mean, I see some serious buyer absorption here in ZB, for one thing. 143.01. Oh, right. Nothing traded at 2. Yeah, so ZB is unfinished. You got right. I think there is a good chance that ZB is going to go up to 07. I think it's 07. No, it's not 07. It's it's 03. No, that's 142. This is one up here. So there's 143. Then there's 11. So it could be 11. So a lot of the upside targets that we have based on like volume profile stuff is like quite up there. Well, shit. 180 is gonna tap. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Hmm. I mean, that was a pretty good tick up there, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't know if the stop is at 180 though, is it? Well, I guess it is now. I think that at this point I am at peace. Like I saw all of my signals at 20 And if they want to go and it's not going to happen and they're going to stop me out at -4, then that's just what happens. This is where my stubbornness is going to make or break me. So far, I'm not regretting holding it, huh? Zian hadn't had a 3 to 4 tick rotation at the open. Eventually needs to shake people up. Yeah. Well, wasn't that that first move to 180 after it initially broke out kind of that, though? Actually, I didn't realize that they had touched there many times. So I think I made a big mistake about my trade location, and I should have looked at the chart first and realized how big the range was. So let me show you something else I'm seeing. Yeah, good deal, Tucker. You got I think you got more than 4, didn't you? Oh, just 2. I gotcha. Well, that 19.5 is in the middle of where that guy bought all that stuff, and it's been back and forth there a ton still. And it was a really good uptick. And already a lot of orders hitting it, even though there's a big offer there. Okay, so now it's 8:17, and I'm thinking they might have another move up in the next 10 minutes, and if they don't, then we start to
Block
get into...
sell.
Shah. Okay. Then we get into the, oh, they do take it higher, but not until after Seth is done trading. Yeah. There was 6,000 put on 19.5 pretty easily. That what just happened there at 19 looked kind of shady, didn't it? Kinda shady. Kinda like someone's trying to fool everyone. Okay, well now you got equal level 2 here at 19.5, 20, and it's done that many times now. There's actually been... well, my Jigsaw and my Ninja Trader are actually giving me slightly different reads on the cumulative delta. Jigsaw is saying that the market orders has been, for the most part, flat. Ninja Trader is telling me that we've gone up 23K through this area, this 2-tick range. So I'm at this moment, I feel like what's happening now is you had a bubble up move off of, you know, what happened yesterday. They were maybe finished, maybe. uncertain, no way to know if they would have gone further or not. But then the news came out and pushed us higher. And now that we've been pushed higher, we're in order for like the move to finish in a technical manner, they have to go further. So it's really a question of if the technicals are going to matter here or not. And I don't think there's any way to really know for sure. Other than that, in the past, I've relied on those signals and especially on trend days, and they've worked out really well for me. So I think higher. We really screwed up on our entry here, didn't we? Really screwed up on the entry. $10K absorbed at 19.5 now. I think I've been in this for 20 minutes now. Yep. 24. Okay. I'm gonna touch 18.5. And to get back up in there. Maybe it was a false breakout. Good uptick, good pull. You could kind of see when it was happening over in ZF and they ticked up. They actually ticked up without any volume going into 19. Or rather, my chart printed a gap. Okay, so they continue to buy it when it ticks down. That's good. I need to see this 17. So they're both at like a level break area. And ZF is fighting it hard right there. Okay, so I just pulled up Twitter, and the summit is now canceled officially. Yeah. Okay. So that time they pulled and some volume went through, but they didn't actually clear it. Uptick. Okay, uptick. I wouldn't call it a super strong one. It's a lot better in ZF this time, though. I don't know, wait, I take that back. It was the 17 is the one that they're having trouble with, isn't it? And here, by the way, is ZP about to touch 01 again? Oh, not quite. You can do it. Come on. 10. Okay. So there they touched it, the high again. This offer hasn't gotten stronger. Or sorry, this bid hasn't gotten stronger than the offer yet. This bid in ZF is a little better. We still only seen 10 contracts go through 01. There's 830. Okay, I'm seeing something happen here in ZF now. There's maybe starting to trickle in. Bid's looking a little weak here. Okay. They tried for just a second and then it pulled in ZB. That was interesting. Like they went 300, 350, 250. And down tick, okay. That's probably gonna down tick too. No? Okay, we're back. I mean, they're feeling it when it goes down. There's definitely a lot more sellers at 16.7. Okay, now the bid is stronger in ZN. Okay. They're hitting it. No pulling. Flipped again. ZF bid looks really strong now. They're still fighting it at 17. Okay, they finally took it and held, and 17 quarter pulled significantly actually. Yeah, it's been too long, I'll tell you that much, Tucker. This is pretty good upticks. Pretty good, pretty good. That's what I like to see. Bears just kind of slowly trickling in. I don't think that 210 is the end. So here's 05 and ZB is maybe a spot. I was expecting to see something over at 1112 and you're not seeing it in ZB. So I find that curious. So that is making me think about taking the +2 perhaps. I'm wondering if there's going to be a level break here at 2010 or not. Why am I thinking +2? Like, probably it's maybe only +1. Well, It does look like has been an E-mini thing. Man, E-mini just kind of slowly going down. Well, let's let buyers respond. They're still doing it there. Yeah. Um, well, um, yeah, it's a little bit too uncertain to say for sure. I really think that 05 target was a better target in ZB. I know that much. I don't like what I'm seeing right here at 20 half, though, is kind of more concerning to me than the 2500 at 2210. I mean, the more volume that goes through up there, the better, right? And I kind of feel like it was just like, buyers started to test it. It wasn't going to pull at all. Somebody decided maybe that was a good place to short. And buyers still seem to like it at 20. Does the scene of the crime should be support? So I don't see anything too unusual yet. Okay. Him. So I'm in my mind, I'm kind of back to, I'm not really sure if this is a trend day. Maybe, I mean, probably a double distribution day, but I'm not sure if this is going to be like a trend that just goes all day. I do like the amount of contracts absorbed there at 20. I mean, 10K order and a good bid, pulling at 20 half. Not a ton of pulling, really. I did think we were gonna get more of a pop when we traded up there to the 21. What was my loser at? Was 19.5. Hmm. Well, we're getting close enough now to my hard stop that I think I have to just take +1. Sure is getting slow, isn't it? Imagine you're going short to get short. Seems okay. You wait and hope. Then they push a new high and you get stopped out. So you try again. Same thing over and over until you give up. And that's the time it finally pulls it back in. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Now, wow, 10K. 10K just to clear that 20.5. But it came in like all at once. That is something else. Well, gosh. After 4 trades, I made 2 ticks. That was bad trading, guys. I'm profitable, but I can't slice that any other way other than bad trading, because we'll pull this over, we'll pull over this chart, and we're gonna look back at when I got in at 40. Was way back here at 14.5. So we had caught it. Oh my, wow, okay. We had caught it on our first move. No, we actually, okay, this first one, I think I actually made the right choice, getting out where I did. Where's the time closed? 6:49. 6:49. Oh, no way. It was so bad. It came up, we bought it at 14.5. I mean, this was the trade that I would normally be really good at, and I would hold it up until maybe even up to here for 17. So that's like a good 9-tick trade that I should have done and didn't. And then 16.5. Here again, I had an okay place. I had an MFA of 3, but I only took +1 on it. This one, 752. You know, that one went against me. Maybe I should have been held on a little bit more. But then on this one, I held on way too long. So I was in a trade for almost an hour and only got a tick out of it. It went for MAE of 4. That's really bad. That should never happen. And I think on that one, because I bought it somewhere in here, I think, I was just not paying attention, because here's the range here from 20.5 to 18. It had already been established, and here's a balance area that had been established, and I should be buying, at the very least, should be buying the bottom of the balance area. So that was just a really, really poorly placed trade. I think I got a little reckless there and thinking like, well, if this is going to go and make a new high, it doesn't really matter where I do it at. Okay, well, so there you go. This last one, 20. There they just ticked up, so it could have gotten more ticks out of that one, but this doesn't matter because I have to go. So so type here. This has been one of the most unique trading days I've ever seen. And I think, you know, I get a little bit of a pat on the back for, you know, having mostly positive trades and coming out with 2 ticks profits. That's cool. But it really was not my best trading. and I suppose that the action is going to lead to that a little bit, but I still did things that were not normal for me, so I think I'm still having some head games where yeah, up we go. I'm still having some issues where some of the trades that I normally would have taken and had no problem with, I'm being too cautious on. But then the places where it's like reversal, I'm still I'm too confident on those ones. And then I'm still getting bad placement on some of these, so Oh, I haven't published my Bitcoin stuff, so let's do that. And we can record a little bit more. I think every bit of this that we can have, I think, is going to be really useful in the future, because I've never seen such a bubble up. Nothing like it. So we might not get another number until tonight. It's interesting. Yeah, it's just really frustrating. Like, this is like the one of the few days where you really should just really hold on to it, and I wasn't able to do it. So we have to work on this for sure. I think that my calibration is still off. Anyways, that's it today. I will see you guys tomorrow.